Hello, freedom seekers. Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead. As always, things never stand still around here. It's been a busy few weeks. Going to give you a quick catch up on what's been going on around here, and then let's do a garden tour. Like I said, it seems like things never stand still around here. There's always something going on, whether it's an improvement on the house or gardening, or, well, obviously you can tell by looking behind me, it has not been lawn mowing. Things have gotten a little tall, a little out of hand. But you know, that's just the way it goes right now. There are more important things than spending time mowing a lawn because, well, it doesn't necessarily provide me with food, or comfort. Well, anyway, we've talked about my lawn angst in the past. But what's really been taking up a lot of my time is that thing right there. Living in a 120 some, who knows how old farmhouse, it gets kind of miserable sometimes when it comes to temperature. And you know, we have been living in this house for 11 years now, and we have been putting window air conditioners in the house every summer, and it is a pain. There's nothing worse than lugging those 100-pound air conditioners out of the third story attic, down flimsy wobbly attic stairs, and then getting them into the windows throughout the house. And they're inefficient, they're loud, they're obnoxious, they're an eyesore, and I was tired of dealing with them. So this year we decided we were going to put in a mini split air conditioner system. And yes, there are some drawbacks to those, but there are some benefits also. Number one, they're super efficient. Number two, they're quiet, so quiet. But we did not get one of the typical traditional mini split systems, which is the one with the air handler head that hangs on the wall. They actually make a concealed duct mini split system. So you install the air handler in our case, it was in the attic. And then I ran duct work, so I had to build a cold air return and install all the duct work to carry the air. But I tell you what, we just got it up and running this morning, and man, what a difference. Within an hour and a half, the upstairs was cooled down to the set temperature, and it has been maintaining that so quietly. So yeah, great option for somebody who's looking to update a much older home. And like I said, a lot of work involved, and it's a pretty hefty investment, but for us it was well worth it. So that's been taking up a lot of my time. But now let's show you guys what's growing here. So the elderberry that we invested in last year has it's been growing really well. I'm very pleased with the growth of these elderberries. These are the European black elderberry. Nice, beautiful flowers on them. Very delicate looking. The foliage, nice, deep, dark green. Just absolutely beautiful. Really liking this variety. Really glad we invested in them. And we've already got neighbors and people in the area here that are waiting for us to get these mature enough to where we can start getting some cuttings and propagating out. I think this is going to be a great avenue in the future, is getting these things propagated out and making them available to neighbors and friends. So the young quail that we hatched out in late April are doing really well. As a matter of fact, we just started getting eggs from them. So really excited to get those guys into the rotation. We also did pick up some chicks a couple weeks ago. We got some Barnvelder, I don't know how to pronounce it. Barnevelder, I think that's it. Some Barnevelders, some Sapphire Gem, and there's two other breeds. A Wheaton Moran, got some Wheaton Morans, and there's one other one. And actually the last two, we didn't buy them. Somebody in the local neighborhood here contacted us and said, hey, we got these chicks. They're not exactly the breed that we wanted. Do you want them? And I was like, sure, why not? Free birds. So yeah, those are going well. We did another round of breeding for the rabbits, so that we will have the rabbits that we need for our hands-on meat rabbit class in October at Homesteaders of America. Once again, if you have never attended a Homesteaders of America conference, this is the time now. This is your that little bug in your ear saying, look it up and register and attend. It's a great thing. It's like a huge Homestead family reunion every year. So check out the link at below in the description, and don't hesitate. Buy your tickets now. They're going fast. They're going fast. So, all right, garden tour. So this bed here, last year we had our nasturtiums and tomatillos in here, and decided to switch it up a little bit. This year we've got some herbs in the front here, along with echinacea, aster, and then some onions along the side. Strawberry plants are growing well. So far I've only gotten one strawberry. The weather has just been so unpredictable that we go from freezing to hot, and I think the blooms just freaked out and died. So greenhouse is still absolutely full, despite the fact that we have had 4 weekends of plant sales that have been doing really well, just right outside the house here. We still have a lot of plants, and so I'm just going to put this out there. If you are in southeastern Michigan and you still need tomato, pepper, I've got some purple tomatillo, some ground cherries, I've got like a couple cucumber, a couple yellow squash, tons of peppers though, really tons of peppers. If you're in southeastern Michigan, you haven't got your garden in yet, or you have gotten your garden in and you're looking for just a few extra plants to throw in because you got some spots, well, I've got some plants for you. Hit me up. You can either comment below, send an email, whatever, and we will figure out a way. If you are within half an hour of Richmond, Michigan, we will find a way to get you some plants. I have purple bumblebee, pineapple, yeah, there's a lot of tomato plants here, and I tell you what, I have got to get rid of them. I really do not want to see these plants end up in the compost, and literally let me know, we'll get them to you. All right, because I've got to get the greenhouse cleaned out so that we can get our lavender out here and get it growing. All right, now onto the garden itself. Really, it's not impressive, guys. The weather has been, like I said, it's been so unpredictable. We've been in the 90s so much this last week. I've been the last 3 weeks, end of May, I was afraid to get this stuff in the ground because of a potential of frost. Now we're middle of June, and just today I'm feeling comfortable enough where I feel okay putting plants in the ground, so that we don't have to worry about them just dying off from the extreme heat. So, well, first, tomatoes along our S trellis over here. I didn't go crazy with the tomatoes this year. There is room over there for a total of 16 plants, but we only put in 8 this year over on that trellis. I'm really trying something different this year. Going to be a little bit more dedicated in my pruning and in my trellising in order to try to maximize the potential out of the plants that we have. I'm going for the more is less is more approach. Going for the less is more approach. See these yellow things we got around the garden. This is a little bit of a first shot at the cucumber beetles. We got devastated by them this last year, and so trying to get ahead of them, and before I get any of my cucumbers and yellow squash and zucchini out here, I'm going to get these yellow sticky pads out here, and these really helped so much last year on fighting back the cucumber beetles. This year I'm trying to get ahead of them so that we don't have to worry so much about them. I mean, we just put a couple tomatillo plants out here along this small trellis here, right along the ground here, and we're already fighting the stupid potato beetle larvae and cucumber beetles. It's just, I'm just already frustrated and we hardly have anything in the ground. So we got all the weeds pulled up in this corner over here, put down some fresh mulch. This is going to be our ground cherry corner. The garlic patch is doing pretty well. We got the scapes are starting to grow here, the garlic scapes, and they have reached the point where it is time to get those cut. Now, because we are growing a hardneck variety, in order to get the maximum growth in the bulb, we're going to take these scapes off, because basically this is where the flower would grow here, right here. That's where the flower would grow, and if we cut that off, it's going to force more energy to growing the bulb. But the garlic patch is going pretty well. Onion patch looks good. Luke's been really dedicated to keep this thing weeded. I think we've got the chickens in here once or twice, have pecked off a couple tops of the onions. But other than that, it's looking real well. Oregano is, it's gone nuts. Chives have gone nuts, but we've also got some bindweed growing in there that I've got to get taken care of. So we're going to be climbing through that and pulling that all out. So the area where I decided to put the peppers in this year, we're flipping it. So last year the peppers were over there on that side of the garden, and this year we're going to put them where we had our squash. This is some pretty thick mulch right here. In this area the mulch is almost 6 to 8 inches deep, and so we've got to move that mulch out of the way so we can get to the dirt. This is another benefit to the Back to Eden style root out, lasagna gardening method, is that once I get to the actual soil underneath of my wood chips here, it's wet. The soil is still damp after 2 weeks of 90-degree weather and pretty much no rain. We need rain, but we haven't had any. And I mean, this is what we're looking at the bottom, under the wood chips here. I mean, it is, look at that, nice, damp, black dirt. All right, thanks for planting with me. I've got 10 more to go in this last row, and then probably tomorrow we'll work on getting some squash planted over here, cucumbers on the trellis next to the greenhouse, and get our ground cherries in over here. Appreciate you guys joining us today on this amazing journey that we're on. Look forward to sharing more information with you as things continue. Until next time, God bless.